Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Here's your news headlines. Today, 16 people are arraigned as part of that federal investigation we have been following, where federal agents raided homes and businesses across the valley early on Wednesday. We now know these 10 individuals are being indicted on charges stemming from 2 federal investigations. One involving the large-scale manufacturing and sale of counterfeit cell phones. The other, a cocaine, heroin, and methamphetamine ring. Boise Fire Department says it's learned a lot ahead of the 10th anniversary of the deadly Oregon Trail fire. The fire was caused by a malfunction at a power station. 50-mile-an-hour winds blew up the hill through the sagebrush and right into the homes on top of the bench. 10 homes were destroyed, 11 more damaged, and 1 person was killed. Boise Fire says the disaster caused them to retrain their firefighters, create better relationships with the BLM, and more outreach to homeowners on how to protect their homes. All things they say made a huge difference when the Table Rock fire broke out years later.
Some of the changes that we made after this fire were directly impacted how we operated on that fire. The relationship with BLM and our training of our crews, night and day difference between where we were 10 years ago and where we were for Table Rock fire.
The Boise Fire Department now has a wildfire mitigation specialist who helps educate the public on how to make their home safe. He says the Oregon Trail fire spread through flying embers. The best defense against that is to keep your yard and gutters clean of any flammable material like leaves. Local pharmacies in Idaho are struggling with a nationwide EpiPen shortage. The time right before kids head back to school is especially bad. Pharmacies all over the state are struggling to stock EpiPens, but it's not just a local issue, it's a supplier issue as well. Unfortunately, there are not really other alternatives for these reactions, according to pharmacists. The new generic EpiPen brand hitting the shelves soon will hopefully help out with the shortage, but it's not a waiting game anyone wants to play.
Not having that EpiPen to rely on just in case something happens, that's really scary because, you're thinking about your child and their safety and a potentially fatal reaction.
Pharmacies expect to receive adequate supplies in September. Once the back-to-school rush slows down just a bit, we'll have much more on the shortage tonight at 10 o'clock.
Now, Chief Meteorologist Scott Dorval with the On Your Side forecast.
All right, let's take a look at the air quality. That's been the issue, and it was in the yellow category during the afternoon, then during the early evening, popping up back to the orange category at 101, just barely. So we'll still be dealing with the smoke, although it could thin out a little bit during the day on Friday as the gusty breezes pick up. A cold front coming through will scour out some of the smoke in the lower valley, kind of near the ground where we hang on out, but we'll still have that haze overhead. Temperatures in the 80s, breezes up to 20 miles an hour. We may get to the mid-80s, but we'll be dropping. A cooler night coming in. Saturday we may hover near 84, but then temperatures dropping into the 70s and low temperatures dropping as well. So 70 Sunday and Monday. Some cloud cover with a couple of mountain showers possible on Monday, and then only warming to the mid-80s by next Wednesday. You can check back on my Facebook page for updates, and be sure to join us. Coming up later tonight, we'll have the latest on Hurricane Lane coming into Hawaii or close to Hawaii. Full report coming up later. We'll see you again next time.